of Teva, nature. A person has to know his nature and to not assume that he is above nature. He has to treat his body properly and to know that there is laws of nature, and the person's body is limited and it's physical and he has to take care of it and he cannot overdo it. He says, Mizeh Hayav Adam Na'amin Liskor Ma Shamra Torah, and he has to remember that this it says in the Torah, Zacharta Ki Hu Hanoten Lecha Koach Lasot Hayim. The pasuk says in Sefer Dvarim, right, that a person has to remember that Kadosh Baruch Hu is the one who gives you koach. Number one thing that people can mess up on and forget is to think that kochi ve'otzem yadi. People can think that my hand and my strength and my personality and my skills and my strength and my connections are what made me successful and where I am today. The person has to remember the pasuk says HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who gives you the koach to do chayim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who gave you all the strength. And therefore, even if things happen naturally, what do you mean? I bumped into this guy, and then that guy gave me a deal, and I happen to know this guy. And it's a story that makes sense. Not like money fell from the sky. Even so, even in such a case that looks naturally, it's still all from the gzerah, the decrees of Hashem. He says, and even in a case where you do damage to yourself, a person went and on purpose, drove into the wall. You can say, what? That's not from Hashem. No, even that's from Hashem, but a person will get punished for this that he decided to do this. If Kadosh Baruch Hu didn't want it to happen, he would have blocked you also. So even when you think you're in control, at the end of the day, Kadosh Baruch Hu, if he let it happen, that means he wanted it to happen as well. Yes, we know it's a very strong question. If Hashem knows everything that can happen, and Hashem already knows what will happen till the end of time, the Rishonim famously ask, so then how can we ever have free will if Hashem knows what's going to happen? So the Rambam deals with this, and Rabbi deals with this, and many Rishonim deal with this. And there's many answers, and one short answer that Rabbi says is just because HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows, it's not necessarily a contradiction. For example, if I know 3 paths in front of you, and each of these 3 paths lead to their own 3 paths, so every path Hashem knows what will happen and how your life will change according to which path you take. So therefore, He calculated the end of every path, and therefore He knows what each path will lead to. So, but you still have the choice. Therefore, that's how the Ravad answers how it's not a contradiction. But anyways, he says, a person has to be strong to believe that what? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzur, Tamim, Paolo, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is perfect, and everything he does is just, Tzaddik ve'yashar hu. And if you have any complaints against Hashem, it's because you do not understand Him, and He is right and we are wrong, and therefore we should not say, person, he studies Gemara, he says, I don't understand the Gemara, it doesn't make any sense, therefore to rip out the Gemara is wrong. No, he says, I have to study this more, I have to understand more, I didn't study it enough, and that's what maybe eventually I'll understand. Same thing with the Kadosh Baruch Hu. We should not say, Hashem is wrong, and therefore He's no good. God forbid, rather, it's I'm not understanding, I don't know enough, and therefore I should work on it, and have Hashem should bless you with the understanding and emunah to accept it. And he says, therefore, even if something bad happens to you, even if people, they say, no, this guy did to me, and that guy did to me, and I'm going to give it to him, I'm going to show him who's boss. The person has to realize that's the wrong way of thinking, because they're all sent from who? They're all messengers from Hashem. And a person has to know, yes, you're right, they will get punished. Hashem sends detriment in the world through detrimental people. They will be punished for the bad they did, but at the end of the day, if Hashem allowed them to hurt you, that means it's for a reason. So therefore he says, He says, a person goes through a suffering, what should the first reaction he should have? He should know it's really because of my sins. The Gemara says, En yisurin below avon, there is no suffering without sin. So therefore you should never blame Hashem, you should only blame yourself. There's a famous saying, they say, don't hate the players,
hate the game.
Right? If you play the game right, it should work out. If it doesn't work out, it means you didn't play the game right. So don't hate Hashem the player, hate what you did in the game, hate how you did something wrong, and that will enable you to get a better outcome. He says, he says there was a person in my generation, any bad thing happened to him, or any loss in business, or any money he lost, he says there was a guy I know, the Pele Yoetz, he would lose money, he would lose in business, something bad would happen to him, he would right away go home and do vidui, and do teshuvah shleima, and that way Hashem will forgive him and remove the Yisurim, because the Kadosh Baruch Hu makes us suffer sometimes to get our attention for this that we're sinning, to make us stop. So once you do vidui and give Hashem the attention, Hashem will take it away.